Robinson joining us. He's our guru for football every Friday night here at BCSN. We'll see you again, Game Day Nation, this Friday.
Yes, indeed.
Good slate of games. We just took a look at it. How about Anthony Wayne? Still undefeated. They looked really good on Friday, taking on that Olentangy Lewis Center squad.
You know, this is a good football team, and you've known this all year. You know, they schedule really good in the offseason. They scheduled a nice, tough out-of-conference schedule. They schedule really good in the preseason as well, a team that they may see next week if they win, Central Catholic, as their jamboree game. So this team knew that they had some special talent and that they could go far. Mason Albert's injury is definitely something big, and that really hurts this football team. Hopefully he's back out there. We don't know. I mean, I'm not sure, but, you know, this is a team that's resilient, and up front, Nolan Barber is really the key to this team. He's the heart and soul, and if he can get blocking and moving bodies, I think this team is still in good shape.
And we have a Week 4 rematch between Central Catholic and St. John's. I'm excited because it's kind of in our backyard over at Oregon Clay.
You know, and for us to see the track to have a couple of teams match up again and again, this is kind of interesting. You know, the St. John's versus Central Catholic's game was a very tough game, and you got Brady Lichtenberg, who's emerging on becoming one of the top quarterbacks in the state of Ohio passing number-wise. He's got over 7,000 yards passing in his career. You know, that's something that's almost good enough to get him into the record books, and he'll be there when it's all said and done. He's still got another year, but this Central Catholic defense have struggled against the pass a little bit. So this is going to be a week where they're going to have to step up, make sure they're being gap sound and being able to stop what Brady Lichtenberg can do. But on the flip side, their defense on the other side for St. John's, they got some work too because they almost let a team come back last week.
Yes, they did. Yeah. It was scary and it was close, and they pulled it out though.
Yes,
so that's
did.
all you can ask for.
Indeed.
Now to Division I, Region 2, Whitmer taking on Dublin Kaufman, who we saw against Perrysburg on Friday.
You know, Whitmer is a team that, you know, they kind of like the cardiac kids. You know, they're giving you a little bit of scare here and there, but you know what? You can always never fear. You know, when you got Jared Banks, who's going to run the football, Riley Keller, who's going to pull it, tuck it, and pass it a few times. But then the defense, you got Cameron Vargas, you got Carlos Negrin. I mean, the rest of these guys still really keep it up. Covington on that back end, him and Buckingham are going to be needed because they're going to have to really stop the pass. We saw last week the passing attack versus the Whitmer secondary is kind of suspect a little bit, you know, but that's why you got film. That's why you got a whole nother week. The coaching staff is going to figure this out. You know, Hayden Reamer, their defensive coordinator, he understands what needs to get done here. So once they get things fixed up, you got Whitlock and company up front that's going to do it, and Ramel Greer, who's going to Texas State. This is a solid football team. They just got to take care of their this weekend game planning and one game at a time.
What game are you most excited for this Friday to bounce around and take a look at?
You know, I'm excited to see the St. John's and the Central Catholic game, mainly just because there's two local teams squaring off. They've already played once. They was already, you know, separated by, 7 points earlier this year. So seeing those two teams, they're very familiar with each other, their coaching staffs. This is a really good game for Northwest Ohio, and for it to be played at Clay at another track school, it just really has just the aura of a really, really big football game last week like we saw with Central and St. Francis.
Mike Robinson, thank you so much for joining us. We will catch you on Friday night right here for Game Day Nation.